Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
It left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the death?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey,
I
Pam,
could,
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Donald Trump once again betraying the people that voted for him, thinking that he was going to drain the swamp and bring law and order back to this country. Because instead of prosecuting criminals and actually investigating crimes, what he's doing instead is protecting Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there's only a couple of reasons why I can imagine that he would do this, and none of them are good. I don't know about you, but as a Trump voter, that is not what I signed up for.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
Well, I guess we shouldn't be too surprised, because there is Donald Trump once again defending an Epstein co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. And honestly, for those of you that are paying attention and may have even supported Donald Trump, you need to hold him accountable, because Donald Trump was promising that he was going to end all of these wars overseas and U.S. involvement. Well, is that why he's defending Israel? Is that why he is sending U.S. tax dollars to pay for a foreign country's war? Because that is the opposite of what I was promised. And that isn't the only instance. We're seeing the same thing in Ukraine, where he condemned the Biden policy of giving Ukraine all of the weapons they wanted and deciding that we were going to put American dollars to save Ukraine, a country that has nothing to do with us and doesn't affect America whatsoever. Donald Trump is continuing the Biden policy, and he is betraying the Make America Great Again movement and betraying America first. That's what's happening, whether you like it or not. And a lot of people are noticing this, and it's not just people on the left. We have huge MAGA supporters, such as Candace Owens, who are calling Trump out on his bullshit.
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Yeah, we are.
That is unbelievable.
You should believe it.
Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I do.
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein
Believe it.
at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure.
Candace Owens is 100% right to be laughing at Donald Trump here, because the answer that Donald Trump gave us is ridiculous. Yes, Americans are still interested in Jeffrey Epstein, the guy who is a billionaire for no reason that we can actually ascertain, the guy who ran a criminal, illegal sex operation with minors on an island that had the most powerful people in the world going to it all of the time. Meanwhile, you won't answer whether or not he worked for an intelligence agency outside of the United States. Well, why won't you answer that question? And meanwhile, why don't you tell us why you're on all fours for Benjamin Netanyahu all the time? Because I think we know that the answer is that Jeffrey Epstein worked for Israeli intelligence, and that is the reason why Donald Trump is so worried about going after Ghislaine Maxwell and is worried about going after Jeffrey Epstein, because he is either implicitly involved in those issues, or he knows that we have CIA operatives that were actually involved as well. And that's why he doesn't want to come out and admit these things. But Donald Trump ran on being a transparent president. He ran on prosecuting criminals. He ran on draining the swamp. That is not what this is. And if you want to go around and pretend like what he's doing is somehow actually in America's best interests, go ahead. But the rest of us are over here laughing at you and your weird daddy fetish with Trump.
I'm not laughing. You're laughing. There's so much happening here. There's so much to unpack. It's amazing how stupid they think we are. First and foremost, what even is that Trump filibuster? Are you guys still interested? Are you guys still interested in that? Wow, I'm shocked because we are doing both amazing things in Texas. There are devastating and amazing. And what are we talking about with that is crazy. I mean, if you really want to talk about this guy, we can talk about this guy. But just so you know, we're doing some amazing and maybe some not so amazing things in Texas. Okay. Pam is taking notes like, okay, this gives me an opportunity to maybe come up with something on the spot. And what's incredible is that she refuses to assert whether or not Jeffrey Epstein was working for another intelligence agency, because we already know the answer to that. Yes, of course, he was working for Israel. Duh.
Look, we all know at this point that Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli intelligence operative. We also know that Trump was personal friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, that might be uncomfortable for a lot of you, but that is the truth here. And that is a huge reason why Donald Trump is personally making sure that we are not seeing the people that were related to the Jeffrey Epstein crimes. He is personally protecting Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirators at that point. It's uncomfortable. I hate it, but we do need to be honest about what's going on. And the reality is their lying isn't even that good. They're trying to get us to believe that the minute that is missing from the videos, well, that's just normal. That's what happens. Don't you know that prisons have 1 minute missing from every day that we have in the prison?
Which I want to be very clear here that I am not saying this word as a slur. I am saying this in its true denotative meaning. Pam Bondi's explanation for why a minute of the prison tape is missing is retarded. Okay, it is a cognitively delayed response that she offers us there when that question is asked. Hey, why is a minute of the prison tape missing? Slow it down. What she says back here, as in a minute of the footage is missing because the prison always removes 1 minute of the footage every night, like since the 90s, like it's daylight savings minute, and they just got to remove a minute. And so they're just waiting for more time. They haven't had enough time. By the way, that is, they just need a little more time so that they can get the evidence from the prison for why they had the daylight savings minute every night since the 1990s of the minutes that we would like to see maybe something happened. Huh? If you please be my guest, take a couple of seconds to digest that. Daylight savings minute. We just there's always that minute too in my house. We just delete 1 minute every night. We've been doing it for a very long time. So.
And for those of us that supported Donald Trump, let me explain to you why this explanation is so ridiculous and confusing. It's because the Trump administration is lying to us. Donald Trump is lying about what is going on with the Epstein files. He is lying about there being no evidence of a client list. He is lying about the fact that they know that he was actually an Israeli intelligence operative. This is going on the heels of the fact that Donald Trump is bending over for Bibi Netanyahu, and he is not putting America first. He is also bending over for Ukraine because he's decided that American taxpayers should continue to fund the country of Ukraine that no longer even has elections, because Donald Trump has actually gone back on a number of his campaign promises. That's the uncomfortable truth. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Otherwise, if you can't take the fact that your daddy Trump is going to be criticized, then go ahead and go to hell. Talk to you later, everybody. Take care.